All right. Brennan, I'm going to give you the honor of saying the very first let's have a chit chat of the year. How does that sound?
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yep.
Welcome back to Chit Chats, everybody. My name is Antonio.
My name is Kampachi Zaraki, and let's have a chit chat.
And that is your name. And yeah, that is how you are being introduced for season 3.
Season 3.
Season
baby!
3. Welcome everybody to season 3 of Chit Chats. The first episode of
Can you say that any more fucking majestic with your fucking mic, dude? Jesus Christ.
Yes. So this is the first episode of season 3. This is the first episode of 2023. And for the new year and the new season, I have a new microphone. In comparison to previous episodes and previous seasons, there's probably going to be a very, very drastic mic quality change on my end, at least. And also, I just realized the thing that I realized. Truth be told, Brennan, I'm going to be honest with you. This is not the very first episode of this season that I've recorded. I've recorded one other one, but it won't come out until after this.
So you've already recorded for season 3, but this is episode 1.
This is episode 1, yeah. So I kind of cheated on you. I'm sorry.
Cheated on me. What? I don't want to be the co-host anymore.
Okay. No, but I realized that I clap a lot, or like I have a lot of like very eccentric hand movements when I film these videos, and so I need to be careful not to like clap too much in front of the mic because it picks it up, and I don't want that to become annoying. So
you're just trying to fucking eat the thing off the desk.
Yeah. Just, but what's really cool about this new mic is that I can get really close up to it like this, and I can speak directly in your ear, and it's like ASMR. And I know that you're really enjoying that right now. But anyway, regardless of all that. So
one of these days, we should just do a video. So for those of you who don't know, I speak through the mic on my computer,
right?
Because this mic on my headset is actually worse. We learned that like the first time that we were trying the first episode of Chit Chats we were trying to record. I just do an episode where I speak through this just to like ear rape everybody who listens to the episodes.
Yeah, that'll be a special episode. That day when we do that.
That'll be when we get to episode 420.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! If we're still doing that at 420 episodes, whew, man. I can't even like think like. All right. Anyway, we're talking about now. We're talking about well, actually, that's not true because for the first episode, we're gonna be talking about just things for the first episode of the year, first episode of season 3. I wanted to have a classic episode with me and Brennen talking as we normally do. And if this is your first time seeing Chit Chats, welcome. This is our show that we do. We're gonna just talk about we're gonna reflect on the year. We're gonna reflect on 2022, things that that we learned, things that were exciting, and then we're gonna talk about 2023 and things that we're excited for this upcoming year. But really quick, before we get into that, Brennan, I want to highlight the fact that this is a very special episode for more than just the reasons that we've already said. Do you know why? You might know why. You might not. He's thinking really hard. This is a really important question. You need to get this right to continue being on the show. So good thing you're thinking really hard about it.
It is the year anniversary.
Close enough. Not really. This is a really special episode, Brennan, because this is the very first episode of Chit Chats that is not only going to be hosted on YouTube, but hosted on Spotify.
You got it to work.
I got it on Spotify. We got it to work. If all goes well, this episode will be going up on Spotify first, actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's exciting because this, we're reaching new platforms, potentially new viewers or new audience members. So yeah, like I said, if this is your first time watching, we don't normally take this long to get into the main topic, just so you know. We are going to get to the point eventually, I promise you. But I just wanted to highlight the fact this is the first episode on Spotify because that's pretty exciting development. Regardless of where you're watching this, let's get into the topic at hand. Brennen.
Yes.
To start off, overall, what were your thoughts on 2022 as a year?
Where the fuck did it go?
That, you know what? I feel that very much so.
It went fast. I mean, I'm sure Antonio will agree with me, but pretty much 2021 and 2022, after things are awkward since 2020.
Yes.
And they're probably not going to go back.
No.
Or at least not for a long time to how things
Not in a
used to be.
traditional sense.
Yeah. And so I remember all the memes and the jokes about 2020 with everything that happened, and all of a sudden now it's like, oh yeah, that was 2 years ago. And it's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, no,
it's like, it was what now?
It's a little crazy to really reflect on. I mean, I will say that, like, you know, I think the more time that passes, the more that I feel more adjusted to it. I mean, like, obviously it is still a very drastic shift in daily life and, you know, just how things operate as a whole. The fact that, you know, the knowledge that, you know, coronavirus exists and all that. But, you know, I think as we grow, I think, you know, for me, at least, I get more used to it, and I'm just, it sounds a little somber to say, but I'm just like, I'm accepting of it for what it is, you know, like it's unfortunate, obviously, but like, there's only so much we can do to the point where it's like, you just got to keep pushing forward and live your life. You know what I mean? And
you sound like such a fucking official podcast
person
now because of the fucking mic.
Because of the mic,
like,
yeah.
You sound like an actual podcast that I would listen to. You're
hearing HD Antonio right now for possibly the first time.
Antonio.
Yeah.
God damn.
I don't know if the world was ready for this, but we're unleashing it onto the world either way. But yes, but Brennen, you make a good point. Like, you know, these couple years have been a blur. Not necessarily I don't think we can say they've been bad, obviously, like entirely bad, but they have been very interesting, to put it in the most vague way possible, obviously. But you know, there was still a lot to enjoy about this year, regardless of all of that. I mean, for us, I guess, like, in terms of what was probably the most significant aspect of our lives is, you know, we had school, you know what I mean? I mean, like, at least for me, like that was mainly what we had going on. I mean, you obviously, you had work as well. What would you say was more like prevalent for you between the two? Like, was it work or school as a whole?
I'd say for like me, school is, you know, it's fun and it's what I'm going for to try to do for the rest of my life. And so it's a lot more fun than I kept doing throughout the year. But work was most of my life because, like, even during the summer when I had time off from school, I was working. That just gave me more time to work.
Yeah.
So that was probably like the biggest part of my life this year.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it's definitely like hard to balance out the two. I think Brennan's having some trouble. Yeah, we're already. I mean, this was inevitable. This was going to happen. The interesting thing about this episode, that I'll just say, is that you know, it's a gamble right now if people are listening to this episode or if they're actually watching this episode. So I don't know if anyone is seeing what's happening on Brennan's end, but he's muted right now. Now he's unmuted.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Brennan's dog was maybe having a little bit of trouble with something with herself.
Right here, scratching her ear, and we're trying to get her to not do that right now. She's thumping the ground. I'm like, Emma, fucking stop.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, any new viewers, if you didn't know Brennan's dog Emma, he has a dog named Emma.
She's a fucking troublemaker.
She's a troublemaker. Yes, and that is one thing. I mean, like, that happened in 2022 that I remember is Emma's little flea problem.
Oh my god,
that was significant for Emma. I'll say that, at least.
Yeah, got that big sore on her tail that she would not leave alone. You came over a couple times and she had the fucking cone on her
I
head.
saw the development of that a little bit. You know, I got updated on that. But I mean, like as a whole, it seems like she's doing a lot better, which is good.
She is, yes.
Yeah.
She's just being a butthead now.
But yeah. So overall, like stuff going on, school. Brennen and Brennen, you're going to school for welding.
Yes.
And
so I got 2 more terms of that, and then I'm done.
2 more terms. That's
yeah.
Ooh, wow. Yeah. Where did the time go, man? That's crazy. Yeah.
I know. It would already been my 3rd year of college, and I'm like, how?
Yeah. Damn. Would you say like you improved a lot in your abilities to weld this year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You learned a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for this tournament about to start. Of course, we'll talk about that later, I guess. I'll just say, I learned a lot of new things this year in my school. I learned did a lot of challenging things this year, and things that I've never done before. Because I did welding for a long time before going to college, but now they really start teaching you some a lot more advanced.
Yeah.
Things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Same for me. With math. I'm going to school for math right now. Potentially trying to become a teacher. But yeah, I very much learned that there's a whole, like I already knew that math like got really complex. But I think I really like it really slapped me in the face how tough some of my classes were this year, and I think it was probably for the best though, because I think it only is it's keeping me aware and like just more mindful of the challenges that await me in the future, because it was not I don't think I was like prepared at the time, especially like this specifically spring term really hit me hard in terms of like just how abstract some of the things that I was studying were. And now I think I can handle it better, but it's still a little bit of a transitional period. But overall, definitely learned a lot this year. And I guess more on the more meta side, we did a lot of filming this year.
Yeah, we did.
A lot of filming. Yeah, we definitely, like, I think we were and for a reason that I'm sure you're aware of, like, we filmed probably more this year than like really ever. Well, I don't know if you can quantify that easily, but like in terms of like videos just as a whole, like, well, okay, no, I think we can quantify it, because in terms of just Chit Chats alone, like episodes of Chit Chats alone, you know what I mean? Like we filmed, I actually went ahead and like tallied up essentially how many videos like you've been in, like solely you essentially, and I think it's like at least 200, if not 300 if you count Chit Chats, in terms of like my main channel and my second channel. Which, I mean, I guess is like, maybe you thought it would be more. No, I don't know. I think that's a lot, because like,
no, that's a fucking lot.
That's a lot, because
make me realize how much shit I've done for you.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, I guess that it helps when you have your own series and you're the co-host of a show on my second channel. Like, it's natural that you're going to be in a lot of stuff. But shout out to Brennen for carrying my content, low key. But we did a lot of Cookie with Brennen filming this year, specifically for a project that is not currently out.
Which we can, before with no spoilers, we can talk about it, but I will hands down say filming that project, that of course not come out yet, was one of the most funnest fucking things that I think we've ever done, because it took us 2 months to film that.
Yeah, well, it took us basically an entirety of summer to film that, and we were filming a lot. It was a lot of filming. like we were filming frequently. Like we were going at a good pace. You know
not to
I mean?
mention all the shit that you had to film on your own because it was either at a different location or I wasn't involved, so you just had to film it on your own.
Yeah, I had to do
like
some. I had to do some traveling, for it a little bit, and it was a lot of coordination on my end. You know, to just like plan out like what scenes we'd be filming on certain days. Basically, what we're talking about for anyone who might not be aware, Brennen's series, Cooking with Brennan, or the series that I've been making with Brennen, Cooking with Brennen. It's like a skit parody cooking show. We've been doing that. We're on the second season of that show. Potentially the final season. But we filmed the final episode, at least of the season, probably the entire series. But we filmed that over the summer, and it was, you know, by design, it was like an entirely like whole movie length project. First thing that I've ever really done like that. First thing that like me and Brennen have done together like that. And it was a lot of, you know, I had to coordinate like what scenes we'd be filming on certain days, who would be there on certain days. And like Brennen said, it was a lot more than just me and Brennen, because normally when we film Cooking with Brennen, it's just me and Brennen. But there was more people involved for this specific episode, and so it was a lot of, just a lot of different,
and all the coordination you due to like some people not being able to be there, and some people making sure we could get everyone together on the same day.
Yeah,
and
it was a lot.
Weather conditions.
Yeah, weather. Oh god, yeah, weather conditions. Yeah. You know, conflicting work schedules, stuff like that. But I'm really glad that you had a good time with it, because I had a fantastic time with it as well.
Not only was one of my favorite videos we ever recorded, it was definitely my favorite that we filmed this year.
Yeah, no, that's good. And it's not even out yet.
I guess last year.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm hoping it'll be out soon, because, you know, I want the world to see it. I'm ready for the world to see that. But, well, I mean, no, I'm hoping, yeah. Did I say, I don't know if I said I'm hoping it will be out this year, or if I'm hoping it'll be out soon, because it'll definitely be out this year. That is all but guaranteed. It's just a matter of when. But
when
yes,
year.
It'll be out soon, to be clear. Anyway, so that was with that. Did a lot of filming. A lot of Chit Chats episodes. I'm like, you know, like we've said in the previous episode, the 100th episode, it's crazy to me that we reached 100 episodes. It kind of went like, overall, that aspect went by super quickly. Because I remember specifically like sitting down and like thinking of the idea of Chit Chats, because I knew I wanted to do another like podcast style series. Because we've done like Tonyverse podcasts in the past. And I knew I wanted to do another one, but I just had like, I knew it would be hard to like actually get people physically together. So I was just like, well, we could just do it over a call, right? It's funny because originally I wanted Chit Chats to like, I wanted the whole shtick of Chit Chats to be like, they're short. Like every episode is like 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
That lasted for three episodes.
Yeah, that happened for like 3 episodes, and now pretty much every episode is at least half an hour.
and that random episode that we did that we had to film in like under 20 minutes because we were in
the news episode. Yeah. No, but mostly pretty much all of them, and especially ones recently, have been like, they've all been like an hour, it feels like. But I think that just like adds to the humor of it, like the fact that it's called a chit chat, but it's just like they're just super long, you know. I don't even know how long this episode's going to be. It's probably going to be at least half an hour, 45 minutes.
Probably.
But we can kind of, you know, we can try to keep things moving along here. So overall, I don't know, and like I guess we could reflect on like what games we really liked this year, what movies we really liked. I really liked the Pokemon games that came out this year. Pokemon Legends Arceus specifically. Very much enjoyed that one. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, well, they could have been better in certain ways. those were definitely fun. Those are probably like the highlights in terms of the games that I played. Brennen, do you have like any games specifically? I mean, like obviously there's games that were really good that came out, but I want to know like what you played that you really liked. Don't say Roblox.
God of War Ragnarok was the game I was waiting for quite a while, and that came out this year, and it was a masterpiece. It was amazing.
Have you gotten to play it?
I've got to play parts of it. I don't own it because if I want to play it myself, I'm gonna wait till I get a new. I'm gonna wait till I get a PS5.
Okay.
My PS4 would probably kill itself if it tried to handle God of War Ragnarok. I'm actually pretty happy because this might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but as far as I know, it's actually been pretty accepted. The Call of Duty that came out this year, actually pretty good. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it, and I've probably played this new one the most time out of the last one. The last Call of Duty game that came out was terrible. It was shit. I barely ever played it.
Can you remind me what?
It was Vanguard, Call of Duty Vanguard.
That was the bad one?
Yeah, and then the one that came out now is MW2.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've heard good things about the newest one.
Yeah, but like Vanguard was shit, and like the only thing that even got me to play it was the zombies because it was still made by Treyarch, but then even that was shit. And so like it was terrible, and so this game still has some issues, and they're still doing some things that I wish they would change, but other than that, I'm actually just having fun with it, which has been nice because I've not had that much fun with a Call of Duty probably since Black Ops 3, which was a while ago. Wow. So it's been good. I mean, like I've had some Call of Duty games in between that I've enjoyed parts of. Like I liked Black Ops 4 a bit, and I liked 2019's MW, which is what this one is now a sequel to. But yeah, this one's probably been the best. So God of War Ragnarok, Modern Warfare. I haven't got to play Elden Ring, but that game is a masterpiece. I haven't played it. It was the Game Awards were not happened too long ago, and God of War got a bunch of awards, but Elden Ring won Game of the Year. And if God of War didn't win Game of the Year, I wanted to go to Elden Ring because if that masterpiece didn't win it, then the other masterpiece.
It was between those two. Let's be honest. Like
it was totally in between those two.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I was going to be happy either way because it was either going to be the game that I wanted to win Game of the Year or the game that also deserved Game of the Year. So it's like either way was a win. Because that game was just stunning, and it was. And like I said, I haven't played it because I'm terrible at those kind of games. But
it looks hard. I think I'd be terrible too if I tried it. So
I'm terrible at the Elder Scrolls and the Dark Souls and everything. I'm terrible at those games. Trying to think if any other games came out this year that I was really into.
Those were the main. Like I mean, like I don't have a PlayStation, so I miss out on all those games. I didn't really have access to my Xbox, so Nintendo was basically my main platform. And like pretty much all the other games that I played were like old anyway. So like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. So like it was mainly the Pokemon games that I specifically remember. But I watched Quentin play a lot of Elden Ring, so I definitely saw how impactful and like well made that game is.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can't think of any more games,
there's one that came out. Jesus, you see, that just shows how freaking stupid. I almost said another game, but then I was like, wait, maybe that didn't come out in 2022, and I just checked and it came out back in March 2021. I played that game almost 2 years ago now. What the fuck?
Time flies, dude. Like we said, like these years have been a blur.
Oh my god! Yeah, I can't think of anything else then. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I wanted to potentially move on to movies and like what movies you saw or that you like, even if they're not they don't necessarily have to be movies that came out this year, but
okay.
I mean,
well, then like the big two for me were of course, so Spider-Man: No Way Home came out in 2021 technically,
Right.
but it came out like
December.
what, December 23rd or something like that, like a couple days before Christmas.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people have been talking about it for 2022 because they also did release like extra scenes and re-releasing themes again in 2022. So that was, of course, one of the biggest movies ever. That was me reliving like all three stages of my life in one movie because Tobey Maguire movies came out in 2002, 2004, and 2007. I was born in 2002, so I watched those three movies when I was young constantly. And then Andrew Garfield was like the middle of my life. He was like the middle, the middle Spider-Man, which was Amazing Spider-Man. Then of course Tom Holland joined the MCU and War. And then so seeing all three of them together in one movie. Spoilers alert, you should fucking know by now. It's been over a year. So they were all in the movie, deal with it. In case anyone complains about it.
No.
But
if you complain, fuck you.
But so seeing all three of them together finally in a movie was just like amazing.
For sure.
And then seeing all the villains and like some of my favorite villains ever returning, it was just, that was probably, I know that was released at like the very end of 2021, but like the last year kind of.
What's funny is that I feel like we talked about that in the first episode of last season.
I feel like we did, yeah.
Yeah.
But then if I want to be serious about the movie that did come out this year, that came out way earlier this year, The Batman.
That was a really good one.
I fucking loved that movie. I will admit that the beginning is a little slow, but then the second you start getting into the action, especially with the Riddler,
picks up. Yeah.
That movie is amazing. I'm really hoping that they continue. They better fucking continue that movie because I know that like DC's going through some major shit right now. But I'm hoping that since they've kind of kept, it seems like they're going to try to keep that Batman on his own. I'm really hoping that they'll continue working with it because the biggest shock in the life was everyone joked about Robert Pattinson being Bruce Wayne and Batman, and then he fucking did it. And his Bruce Wayne's a little interesting, but his Batman is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. No, he did a really good job. Like,
there's a certain DC villain, or villains, I guess I should say. It's called the Court of Owls, and it's like an underground organization, kind of like the Illuminati, right? And they're one of Batman's villains in the comics, and they've never really done a live action version of the Court of Owls, at least to my knowledge. I think I would love to see him. Because of how darker his movie is, I'd love to see him go against the Court of Owls in like a future movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard that they're already working on a sequel potentially with Robert Pattinson, so I feel like we could see something like that happening soon. I think it's good that DC's kind of finding their footing a little bit, with their cinematic universe because they definitely had some growing pains with that, to say the least. But I wanted to mention two movies that I saw this year that I enjoyed quite a bit. I don't watch a lot of movies, but I particularly really liked Multiverse of Madness. And I know that one's a little controversial.
No, that was a good fucking movie.
I did enjoy that movie. After evaluating it, and I saw it a couple times, but after like evaluating it as a whole, I think I can say I do enjoy that movie. And I think the other one, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's Bullet Train.
I've not seen Bullet Train yet.
That one is currently on Netflix, and I think it's really good. It is very funny and very flashy in its action and fight scenes, but it's I think I enjoy it for that. I feel like it's aware of how like kind of absurd it can be. Okay. And so I definitely enjoyed that one, so I would recommend that one. But those are like the two movies that stuck out to me from this year. But now that that's been said, I want to move on to things that we are excited for 2023.
Yes.
As a whole. Oh, and I didn't even get to get to mention like that, like something before we move on, I guess something significant that happened to both of us is we went to see Panic at the Disco again.
Yes,
which
we
was
did.
really cool at the tail end of 2022.
Yes.
And that was a good time. We went to go see them in 2018, and we were just like, "Fuck it, let's go again."
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was really enjoyable.
Yes, that was very enjoyable.
I think I enjoyed both concerts as much. I mean, obviously there was a lot of hype behind the first one just because we had never seen them before, but I enjoyed this past one like really a good amount too.
Yeah, and well, like kind of like what you told me when we were there is that I think the reason that you like this one a lot is because this wasn't like a trip. This one we just went up there the day, went to the concert, and came back.
Yeah.
And so this time we didn't do a vlog or we didn't record anything. We just went there to have fun.
Yeah, and I think that like made a difference, and I'm glad that we got to experience two different sides of the coin in terms of like the event, because obviously we recorded the first time, and that was really fun, and we had a trip, but then this time it was just like it was more casual, just like we're there to enjoy ourselves. We enjoyed ourselves both times, but like overall, glad that we got to go twice. With that being said, let's talk about 2023, because that is the current year. We're going to be forward thinking. It's nice to reflect on the past, but we want to be forward thinking. We want to look at the future and anticipate the future and be ready for it. So let's talk about it a little bit. So Brennen, what games are you excited for? Because that's obviously the most important thing to talk about is what video games are you excited for this year?
There's a lot of things I'm excited for this year. Of course, I'm very excited for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
As far as we know, that should finally be coming out this year.
Finally, dude, yeah.
So I'm really excited for that. There's some other things I can't remember. Here, you take it away for a second because I'm trying to remember all the games that are coming out.
Yeah,
this year.
I can tell you what games. What one game that I'm excited for? Pikmin 4.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I believe that is coming out this year, and I'm really excited for that because I'm a big Pikmin fan, and the last game came out in 2013, so it's been 10 years. But they did confirm that they're doing a fourth one, and it should be coming to the Switch this year. And so I'm pretty excited for that. And Tears of the Kingdom, I'm excited for the fact that it's coming out. I don't know if I'm going to get it right away just because I haven't finished Breath of the Wild yet.
You son of a bitch.
But, I'm sure that when I do, I will enjoy Breath of the Wild quite a bit, and I will be heavily anticipating playing Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom, which
I think it's Tears.
I choose to say Tears because I think that's a funnier title, but yes, I'm sure. Like I already know that's going to be a really good game. In general for the Zelda franchise and just in general, I wouldn't be surprised if that won or at least was a nominee for Game of the Year. Just because I feel like it's inevitable. But other than that, I mean, like I can't. I'm sure there's going to be a Pokemon game.
I figured out a couple that I finally remembered.
Okay, you take it away then.
So, the remake of Resident Evil 4,
that's
coming out this year. I'm super excited for that. Hogwarts Legacy. It was supposed to come out last year, but it got pushed back. That's coming out this year. Super excited for that. Me and the one and only Camacho. We've talked about him before on this thing.
You have.
Brennan's
friend Anthony Camacho. Shout out to him.
We played out the original. It was a game on the console called The Forest. The sequel called The Sons of the Forest that's coming out in 2023. So I'm excited for that. As far as I know, the next Spider-Man game made by Insomniac.
Ooh, okay.
Should be coming out later this year too.
Okay.
So I'm super excited. I'm also really excited for that. I'm sure. There's also a new Bayonetta game coming out this year.
I thought that came out. Did that not come out yet?
There's another one coming out.
One?
It's called like Bayonetta Origins or something like that.
Oh, so it's not Bayonetta 4. It's just another.
I think
just
so.
like a
Yeah, I think
prequel
it's
or
like a
something. Okay.
spinoff. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
There's dude, another one I'm really excited for is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Okay. You know me and
It's a
Star Wars.
sequel. It's a sequel to a Star Wars game that came out a while ago called Jedi Fallen Order.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited for that. So yeah, there's actually I just had to remind myself what was actually coming out this year and just like been announced.
Yeah, right. And
And
hopefully,
so
if all goes well, we will have an E3 this year.
yes,
I'm pretty sure
hopefully. I'm pretty sure that
they confirmed that.
that is in the works right now.
Yes.
So that would be exciting.
That'll be very exciting to see what is announced. And hopefully we will have a E3 predictions video and subsequent review video around that time when the time comes.
Yes, hopefully.
But I also noticed another thing with this new mic that I noticed I do a lot is I smack my lips. So I don't know if that's, now that I've mentioned it, I think a lot of people are probably going to be noticing it more. But that was very obvious to me that I do that. So I'm trying to work on that. But regardless, in terms of movies that are coming out this year, that you are aware that are coming out this year, what movies are you excited for? I see you rubbing your hands together.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. That is coming out.
That's coming out this year.
Yeah, Part 1.
Okay,
Part
I thought that was coming out 2024.
Part 2 is coming out in 2020.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited for that then. Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
That will be coming out. As far as we know, they're going to start recording in February, so it should come out later, near the very end of 2023, but I'm still excited. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Oh my
is
goodness.
finally in production.
Dude.
And did you hear who's playing like the main villain?
Oh, I did, but wait. Is it who? Oh my god, wait. No, I don't remember. Who is it?
Matthew fucking Lillard.
Matthew who?
Matthew Lillard, the guy who plays Shaggy in the live action Scooby-Doo
right.
movie.
Yes.
And it cracks me up because everyone heard that, and they're like, "Oh, Shaggy, they're playing, the guy who slaughters a bunch of kids, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And I'm over here like, do you not remember that one of his biggest roles before Shaggy was the original fucking Scream? Like he was the original Scream.
I actually didn't know that.
Serial killer. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so he's going back to his roots.
He's actually great at playing a psychopath. So I think he's going to do great as William Afton in Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Dude. I'm intrigued to see that. I mean, like, I feel like that's been talked about a lot. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
It's been talked about, about being in production since, God, I think, 2016 or some shit like that.
Yeah. I remember hearing about it then and being like, oh, I wonder when that's going to come out. And now here we are in 2023 and it still hasn't come out.
Yeah,
but it might be coming out.
When we finally got production from updates from Blumhouse that a special effects artist is working on the animatronics and all these things like that. And so I'm really excited too, because apparently, according to Blumhouse, for all scenes where the animatronics are going to be stationary or just moving, they're going to be real animatronics to make it look as real as possible. But then they're just going to take 3D models of those animatronics to use for CGI scenes of them having to walk around and do things. And so I'm hoping that means that the animatronics will actually look pretty good.
I'm sure they're going to look creepy as hell. That'll be interesting. I'm not a big horror movie guy, but that might actually be something that I look into watching because.
Oh, I'm so going to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. I actually did not know that it was coming out that was rumored to be coming out, but that's interesting. In terms of movies that I'm really excited for Spider-Verse. I mean, the Marvel movies, those are always, something that excites me a little bit. Even the ones that I'm not as invested in. The Ant-Man Quantumania, that should be interesting to see. I like the Ant-Man movies.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
I feel like they announced another one, but I don't remember.
The Marvels. We haven't got a trailer on it yet, but the Marvels should be coming out this year.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, that'll be interesting too.
I'm looking at movies right now. Oh, duh. The fucking Super Mario movie, dude.
Oh my god, how did I forget about that? I knew there was one big one that I was forgetting about. Yeah, the fucking Mario movie. Dude, that's going to be a trip to see.
I'm also excited because the next John Wick movie is coming out this year.
Those are pretty good, dude.
Indiana Jones 5 is coming out this year.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really cool that they're doing that. I'm interested to see that. They even got fucking what's his name, Harrison Ford, to come back. Pretty exciting. Yeah. So this year should be an interesting one for movies. I really hope the Mario movie is good.
I really want it to.
As a Mario fan, you know, I mean, like, even if it was bad, whatever, that's still gonna be fun to watch. But like, you know, I just hope, because I want them to make more movies based on Nintendo games. I feel like there's too much good material there to not make movies out of. But I heard that Nintendo, they purchased a movie studio. Did you hear about that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I heard that they like bought out a movie studio and they called it like Nintendo Pictures or something, or maybe they just established one. I don't know if they bought a pre-existing one, but they established a movie studio called like Nintendo Home Media Pictures or something like that. Probably not something.
Well, I mean,
exactly that.
PlayStation did the same thing.
Oh, really?
They have a movie/show production studio now. Yeah, because they're the ones who were in charge of like the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland. And they're the ones who helped make the Last of Us HBO series.
Okay.
And they're going to be helping with the God of War live action series that apparently just got confirmed for Amazon.
Okay, that'll be interesting to see, because I feel like video game movies, they're such a hit or miss sort of thing.
Well, and sadly they're usually misses.
They're usually misses. I mean, like, obviously, I think more, especially recently, like we've had a lot more successful ones, like, you know, Detective Pikachu comes to mind. I heard people liked Uncharted. I don't know if it was like,
I didn't mind. There was definitely some things about it that were kind of like, this is cringe.
Yeah,
but there was actually parts of it I actually
that's inevitable
liked.
though. Yeah, I think it'd be really interesting if they made a Legend of Zelda movie, and that's coming from someone who is not the biggest Zelda fan, but as a whole, I feel like a Zelda movie.
I would be okay with the Legend of Zelda movie, whether it was live action or animated, on one condition.
What is that condition?
Link does not speak.
That's a bold sort of, you know, criteria to have, because I feel like that'd be really hard. But it's not impossible to make that work, but that would be interesting.
Nintendo themselves are making 2 games now with voice acting where Link still does not say anything.
Right, that's true.
And like my favorite thing is that like that side game, Age of Calamity, that little, like, I know it's not technically canon, but like still, like, Nintendo like watched its development and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways that they just when you're unlocking characters, like when you unlock Princess Zelda, it says like the royal princess, or they each have like their little description name. For Link, it says Link, and underneath him it says the Silent Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, yeah, I feel like maybe they could try to figure out a way they could do it, but I don't want Link to talk.
I will say the idea of like, because like obviously Link doesn't speak traditionally, but he does like grunt and you know, like make noises when he like swings his sword and stuff. I think the idea of Link being like cast at like a really popular actor being cast as Link and then not speaking the whole movie is really funny.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like I don't know who would be a good contender for Link off the top of my head, but someone who...
Oh my god, I saw a fucking post that was talking about Tom Holland playing Link, and I was like, fuck off.
Okay, he can't, like, I thought of him, but I was just like, no. I thought about it more and I was like...
I love Tom Holland, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tom Holland, and he's a great Spider-Man, and he's done great in other movies, but no.
No, I can't see him as Link. I don't think that would work. I don't know. Even in like a voice role, I don't feel like... I don't think that would work out. I'm sorry. But you know, they'll find stuff. I mean, like, if they, assuming they do make a Zelda movie, I feel like they will eventually, but like, especially if the Mario movie does well, I feel like Zelda is just like the
especially with how well the Sonic movies are doing.
Right. I forgot about that. Yeah, no, the Sonic movie, the next Sonic movie shouldn't be, I think it should be coming out next year, probably not this year. But yeah, those, that I don't know how I forgot about that's an example of a video game movie that has been taking off like really well.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot that the second one came out this past year, and I liked that one a good amount.
Did that come out in 2022?
Yeah, that came out. We saw it together. I don't know if you remember. In April.
I knew we saw it together. I just didn't realize it came out this year. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, time flies. But overall, so yeah, for me at least, that's all the movies that I'm like really anticipating. I'm sure more are going to be coming out and announced.
So that's all I can think about right now.
But as a whole, Brennen, do you have anything that you're like really looking forward to in terms of this year that isn't necessarily like media related?
Yeah, well, one last thing that I forgot to mention that I just thought of, me personally, was right near the end of 2022, the final arc of Bleach finally started getting animated.
You're right. Okay.
And so I've watched the first part of that, and that was amazing. And now they're going on hiatus, so the company can work on some other projects, but it'll be coming back July.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking forward to that this year.
Yeah.
But for things in this year in general, I'll be graduating school this year.
Yeah.
That's so then deal. I'll be done with my welding degree. So I'm excited for that. Try to sound cliche to follow the rules of my contract. I'm so excited for upcoming future Tonyversal projects that I may or may not be in.
Thank you. You were going to be held at gunpoint to say that until you did. So thank you.
Frank is like right off screen holding a gun.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Frank.
Get out of here.
I said my line. Get out.
I pay Frank to intimidate Brennen.
But like, seriously though, like I actually am excited for any projects that we work on together, or even you just come out this year.
I'm excited for Chit Chats specifically because I have a lot of ideas for Chit Chats that I think are pretty exciting.
Yeah, I have gone quite fond of the chats, so I'm excited to keep doing episodes of that.
Yes. They're only going to get better. We got more guests coming. We got more games coming. We got more tier lists we're doing. Debate nights. All the classics. It's all coming back for 2023.
Classics.
Yes.
I'm
very excited to see just where life goes this year.
Yeah, same.
Like in general.
I had personal things this year that I had to deal with. Antonio knows. Antonio was one of the G's who stuck by and helped me with it. So I'm excited to see where things go for this year and how things change, considering considering the conditions I spent most of this year in. So I'm excited. 2023 is going to be my year.
Yes. Yes. 2014 will be my year.
I love Quentin texting us in the group chat. Like later that day being like, I already fucked up 2024.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, I feel you there, Quentin. I feel you there.
That just sets the tone. No, I feel good about this year. I think this year is going to be good overall. Going to be continuing in school. It's a little scary. It's like the future can be a little scary, but I think overall, like, we're only getting more and more. How do I put this? We're getting more and more. We're growing up. We're getting better at adapting to whatever life throws at us.
Oh, dude, yeah, totally. Like, I had a total adult shock moment last night because I had a friend of mine, I won't say any names, but someone I knew from high school just invited me to their wedding last night.
Shit.
And I was like,
dude,
holy fuck, I know someone who I went to school with who is getting married.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Yeah.
And again, no names, but someone else that I know, just a blast from my past, is pregnant and going to be having a kid.
Yeah. And
I'm like, dude, like, that's how fucking fast we're going up. Holy shit.
That's just going to become more and more common.
Yeah. And it's like, because we're at that point now where the people I'm talking about like when we were in high school, that would seem crazy. But now we're a couple years out of high school.
Yeah.
You know? And so now saying that, it's like, no, they're at that age. That's normal. If that's what they want to do, they can do that. You know?
Exactly.
And so it's so trippy to think that we're at that part now to where it's like what once would have been like holy shit, you're pregnant or you're getting married already is more like, oh, you're getting married or oh, congratulations, you know, because like it's like normal now.
I mean, it's like, still a transitional period, I think, because like we're obviously still getting used to it, but like it is true though. Like it is crazy to think about that is
I'm like, holy
possible.
Fuck. Dude, that's trippy.
It is. It's very trippy. Yeah, that's exciting though. So yeah, no, just even, and I don't know, even like seeing that happen for other people like that excites me because, you know, we're just seeing, you know, it motivates me to, you know, make progress in my life and, you know, do things for myself too. And I want, you know, like at the end of the day, like I think everyone should be actively trying to progress their life in a positive direction. You know what I mean? And I think that's a really cool thing to see, like other people like just like starting families and, you know, getting together with other people and making, you know, it's a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Truth be told, my laptop is kind of being a little bit of a bitch right now. So we're going to start to wrap up this episode. But yeah, so overall, I'm excited for 2023. Brennen, I hope that you're also excited and you're looking forward to things to come this year. You know, we're going to be getting through this together at the end of the day, and that's what matters. We got this. And I hope you guys are there along for the ride with us, whether that be in general in your own life or through Chit Chats, you know, watching these episodes every week, you know, just seeing where we're at, seeing what fun things we get to do. I will say this episode had a little bit more of a, you know, a little bit more of a sappy, serious tone. You know, if you've never really watched Chit Chats, this is not our typical type of episode. We usually like to get a little goofy and silly.
Not.
But this was still fun. I still had a good time this episode.
We need some comedy.
Yeah, but no, we're going to get into some comedy episodes. Don't worry. But that being said, we're going to wrap up for this episode. Brennen, thank you for being here, as always. You are still the co-host, and it was good to have you for the first episode of season 3. And hope to see you for many future episodes to come.
Where's my new contract?
It's in the works right now. I don't know how much. I don't know if you're gonna like it that much because we're throwing in some more quirks that might require you to strip on a more daily basis. But
let's get naked.
But but regardless, guys, thank you for watching or listening.
We're gonna party till we're purple. I love being purple.
And yeah, we will see you guys on the next episode of Chit Chats. Peace out.
Good night.
And to end things off, Brennen, why don't you do a little bit of freestyle rap for us? And he's gone.
What?